Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Casual Flacker here, back for episode number 1 of a brand new series on the channel. This is going to be our Madden 22 Chicago Bears franchise. This was a series that I know I've been promising for a little while, and I was trying to put it off because there was supposed to be a big update to the scouting that you do in franchise mode that came in September, but they just announced today that it's going to be delayed into October, like mid-October, I think. So the NFL season will be full swing by then. And so I didn't really want to wait that long. The hype for the NFL season is here. This is we're going into week 2, and yeah. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan on having these videos uploaded Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, so they kind of correlate with the actual NFL schedule. That way it feels semi-realistic. But yeah, so basically what the lack of a scouting update means is it's just the default scouting
or change your role
like
to
it
a
is
player
normally
or
in the
owner.
game. And that means that I will probably make a second franchise at some point. If this one is successful, I'll make a new franchise with the new scouting features in there. Enable all, salary cap on, net on. I'll make it so that anyone can relocate if they want to. No, we won't. We'll just do normal. Turn off pre-existing injury, so we want to start from the beginning. We're going to do this. That way, if we accidentally simulate a cut period, they won't cut someone over a 70 overall. As I've had them cut a 99 overall 26-year-old offensive lineman before. And I was rather angry because I couldn't go get him back. We're going to turn development trait regression off because I think it's dumb and it doesn't work right anyway. We're going to play on 8-minute quarters. I did keep it on All Pro because we're playing on Next Gen on the Xbox Series S. When I first started to record this, it was on regular PlayStation 4. And All Pro really wasn't that difficult, but I think it's a lot harder on Next Gen consoles. So hopefully we'll see some of that. I think that's everything we need. But yeah, we're playing as the Chicago Bears. There's a couple reasons for that, but let's get into it. First of all, they are kind of a team they're a team in a weird limbo spot, which we'll show with the roster. Actually, let's just get into the roster, and that's how we'll go about this. So the roster is kind of in a weird spot as far as like old and young talent. If so, you can see the best player on their roster is Khalil Mack, 95 overall edge rusher. He is 30 years old and he's making a ton of money. So he's kind of on the downswing of his career. And Madden does have a new feature in it that is that is part of their scenario engine that causes older players to think about retirement, like mid-season. And he's definitely someone that I've seen pop up. So if that comes in, we may honestly look to trade him sooner rather than later because I think we can get several first-round picks from him. I know the Eagles have 3 in this draft, so that would be really nice. If not, maybe we can get a couple or some good young talent. And then we have Allen Robinson. Khalil Mack is also our lone superstar X Factor. We have Allen Robinson, who debatably could be an X Factor. He's probably one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. But he does have superstars, so that's nice. And he is playing on the franchise tag. But he's also 28. With that dev trait, it's going to be a little while before he starts to regress. So we'll probably give him a new contract, and we'll go from there. And then we have Eddie Jackson, the second best player on our defense. Well, maybe, I don't know, but he's 27, 89 overall, star dev. maybe one of the bigger superstar dev snubs, but that's whatever. We have Roquan Smith, who is a good young talent. He's at 24, 88 overall. He is definitely a superstar dev snub. And then you see some of our other talent: 31 for Akeem Hicks, 24 for David Montgomery, Eddie Goldman, 27. Well, and then we'll just go position by position, and you'll see what we're talking about. But the number one reason why we're doing the Bears is Mr. Justin Fields, the 11th pick in the draft out of Ohio State University. I'm not normally a fan of Ohio State players, unless they go to my Cowboys. But Justin Fields actually suffers from epilepsy, like I do. And so to see him, able to succeed, to get into the NFL and have a chance to succeed is really cool. I actually have a Justin Fields jersey. I wore it last week for week 1, and he had a touchdown in there. He actually had more fantasy points than Aaron Rodgers did, so eat your heart out, Aaron Rodgers owners. But we have him. He is definitely the future of our franchise. We're not going to be like the Bears and run weird packages where we bring him in and we're going to start Andy Dalton. No, Justin Fields is the starter. Andy Dalton will be the backup for 1 year. When his contract's up, he's gone. We also have Nick Foles, who I'm going to look to trade because we don't need 3 quarterbacks making this much money. And then at halfback, we have David Montgomery, who is 24 years old and is definitely the future of our position. He's kind of slow, but honestly, I think in Madden, 88 is a really solid speed for a running back. The higher the speed, I think the higher speeds are better for wide receivers than they are for wide receivers and quarterbacks than it is for running backs. He has star development.
This is the player card. Here you can
so
see your
we
strengths.
will we'll look to use him and develop him. Then we have Davian Williams, who's on a 1-year contract to be our backup running back. Not too much to say about him. He might get traded by the trade deadline because we also have Tarik Cohen, who is oddly enough a team captain. He's 26 years old, 76 overall. He's got a lot of big playability. 94 agility, 93 acceleration, 92 speed, 90 change of direction. He's a good kick returner. He catches the ball into the backfield. So we want to see him involved. He'll probably be our third down back and our return guy. We also have rookie Khalil Herbert out of Virginia Tech. So he'll provide good depth as well. He doesn't have he doesn't have depth trait. Okay. We don't have a fullback. We're going to look to go get one. And then at wide receiver, this is where the room gets. I didn't know they had Rashad Perriman. They must have signed him. And this should be the rosters cut down too, because I've got the most recent roster. Well, basically their week 1 roster. We have Allen Robinson, like I said. We'll look to pay him in the offseason. We have a surprise breakout wide receiver last season, Darnell Money with 2 O's Mooney. 78 overall, 93 speed. We'll look to develop him. He does have... I don't know. What did I sort by? I don't know. Anyway, we'll look to develop him because he does have star development. And then we've just kind of got some depth guys. Marquise Goodwin is not going to be around for very long. Rashad Perriman is not going to be around very long. Demir Bird. And then Simba Webster, I guess. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. At tight end, we have Jimmy Graham, who we are also going to look to trade because I don't need a 34-year-old Jimmy Graham eating up targets for Cole Kmet. Jimmy Graham is what he is. He's old now. He needs to retire. So yeah, someone will probably want him. We also have Cole Kmet, who's a second-year tight end out of Notre Dame, star development. Someone else, that can be a cornerstone of our offense. So we've got some good young talent on offense. It's just a matter of, getting more pieces around them. And then for depth, we've got Jesse James, J.P. Holtz, Jesper Horsted, and the long snapper Patrick Scales, who we are going to cut because we don't need him. And then we have at left tackle, we have old man Jason Peters, who is ancient at 39 years old, still chugging along, normal dev. We have a second round
This
rookie left
player's
tackle, Tevin
development trait
Jenkins,
is
perhaps one of
hidden.
the best picks in the draft. Ooh, he's got terrible pass protection. He really does need to play right tackle. Let's do that right now. Uh, Edit player. Okay. So we'll move him over to right tackle. He just fits better there. He does have star development. I know what it is. He's an offensive line. Most of them do. So right for now, this is what we'll go with. We have Elijah Wilkinson and Larry Borom, who was a rookie from Missouri. I don't know a whole lot about him. At left guard, we have Cody Whitehair, 29-year-old star dev guard, 80 overall. He'll be solid for several years. We'll keep him around. We do not have hardly anything at center. Right guard, we have James Daniels, 77 overall, star dev, 23 years old, great guard. We'll want to keep him around as long as possible. And then, as I've already said, we have now we have Tevin Jenkins over here at right tackle, and Jermaine Ifedi is our backup there. Now moving over to defense, we have Akeem Hicks, 31 years old, 88 overall. He's still a great player. He's really more of a defensive tackle than a defensive end. I really don't. Just because of the Bears front, he plays defensive end, but. And then at right end, we have Bilal Nichols, who's also more of a defensive tackle, but it is what it is. 76, 24 years old, star dev. Him and Roquan Smith are going to be two of the cornerstones of the defense for a while to come. Eddie Goldman, 82, 27 years old. I think he's star dev. Yeah, star dev. Akeem Hicks and Bilal Nichols were also both star dev. We've already gone over Khalil Mack. At middle linebacker, we have Roquan Smith, who we've already gone over. Danny Trevathan, solid backup, but he's pretty old. Alec Ogletree, Christian Jones, and these guys. Jones and Ogletree are okay depth. We have Robert Quinn, who is 31 at this point and is making way too much money. We're going to want to move on from him sooner rather than later. And at corner, we are lacking. We have Jalen Johnson, who was I think the Bears had 2 second-round picks last year. He was a second-round pick out of Utah. Utah's been producing the defensive backs lately. 77 star dev, 22 years old. He's going to be the other piece of our defense. It's kind of a building block. And then we have Artie Burns, Kendall Vildor, Xavier Crawford, and Duke Shelley. So, not the best corner group. We are going to try and make some moves, though, before the season starts. And then at free safety, we have Eddie Jackson. We've already talked about him. Marquis Christian and Dion Bush. And then strong safety, we have Tayshawn Gibson, old, just a placeholder for this season. We will move on. And then DeAndre Houston Carson, who I feel like has been around forever, but has only been in the league for 5 years. We have Cairo Santos at kicker and Pat O'Donnell at punter. We may look to move on from them just because they're a little old. And we do have our first round pick in this class, or in this draft. Technically speaking, we're not supposed to because they traded it to the Giants in order to move up to get Justin Fields. I'm not giving it away, though. You can hate me if you want to, but it's my series. So, yeah, that's what we're looking like. This first episode is just going to be us, doing some preseason, what's the word I'm looking for? Organizing, I guess. We're going to go look at the free agent, see if there's anyone we need. I don't really want, oh, okay, that is something we have to do. All right, so again, here's something. Hate me if you want to. We're going to sign Colin Kaepernick to a 1-year deal. We're going to make him a punter, and we're going to cut him. Because routinely, Kaepernick gets onto a team like the like the Panthers or the Broncos that don't have a quarterback, and he will lead them to the Super Bowl. And the last time we saw Colin Kaepernick, he was terrible. He does not need to be an 81 overall. Madden needs to fix this. I don't think they're going to. I don't have anything against Colin Kaepernick. I don't have anything against his political stance. This is not a political move. This is a realistic move. Colin Kaepernick is not getting signed anytime soon. So I don't want him messing with my franchise. So away he goes. And other teams will not change his position, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's go back and look at free agents. And we're going to want younger guys. So let's go look at practice squad eligible. Ooh, Jelani Tavai's there. Travis Fulgham. Steven Sims. Jeff Gladney. I'm guessing he does not have star dev anymore. No, he doesn't. I may sign him anyway, just because he'd be a good piece to have. Jabari Zuniga got cut. There's some guys here I might keep around as depth. Ridley, he's a former Bear. Keelan Doss, former star of Hard Knocks. His career didn't. His Hard Knocks career didn't translate into an NFL career quite like what's his name? Darren Waller's did. So we're gonna sign Tavai. I don't know what we'll do with him yet, but we are gonna keep him around. Fulgham doesn't have to fill. I don't really need him. I don't have a place for him. What's here in the wide receiver department? I mean, there's some talented receivers here. I don't know if there's any that I need, though. Kiki Cutie. Richie James Jr., Kenny Stills, Dante Pettis. Some guys that are okay, but not anybody, like, nobody's jumping out at me, really. I didn't know I guess Deshaun Hamilton's been on too many teams. Trey Burton, another former Bear. Honestly, I might sign him for depth, so that I have somebody behind Cole Kmet that I actually trust. Russell Okung's here. So is Tyrell Crosby. I wonder if he could play center. There are better centers here. That is for sure. Isaiah Wilson, former, like one season first round pick of the Tennessee Titans. Okay, so there's not a whole lot here. Alden Smith got cut. Shaquem Griffin. Bruce Irvin still in the league. Reuben Foster's there. We could keep him around. I'm surprised to hear Whitehead's also still in the league. I mean, there's some players here. Garyon Conley, I guess, try to revitalize his career. Buster Screen, a former Bear. Prince Amukamara, another former Bear. Grant Haley, former convict. I don't know how much Jeff Gladney will get on the field, but I'm going to sign him anyway because he was a first-round pick last year. When Madden first dropped, he was a star development player that was just sitting there. So it's kind of one of those things like, obviously go out and sign him. Does Carl Joseph have star development by chance? He does not. I don't think any of these people are going to. Like, Steven Gostkowski's old self. The Money Badger. That man really trademarked that name and then got terrible. Okay, so that'll be that for free agency. Some of those like Tavai, Tavai and Gladney were more so. I didn't want other people to snag them. Let's go look at the trade center and see who's on the trade block. Don't need a quarterback. Don't need a running back. I need a fullback, but I could use a wide receiver, but none of these guys really interest me, other than Marquez Callaway. But he's not any better than what we have. Quez Watkins would be interesting. KJ Osborne, who was a standout in like the first game of the season. Lil Jordan Humphrey, who is more of a tight end than a wide receiver. Netane Mute is an interesting option because he has star development and he's 22. So Connor McGovern's not star, is he? Nope. Ben Barch, I think, should be star dev. Yes, he is. So he's another option there. So I definitely am looking at Netane Mute. And him being on there is not really that like far off because they have a ton of depth on the offensive line in Denver. And so he's kind of a guy that falls by the wayside. They just drafted a guy that's got star dev. Their center has star dev. They have 2 star dev guards. They have two good tackles. Michael Ojemudia. He has normal dev. Normal dev. Ojemudia should have. Yeah, he does. I'm thinking we may have to try and make a trade for Ojemudia and because they're gonna want a QB. So we can give them Foles, and then you give us. Here, I'll show you their guards or their offensive line situation. Bowles has star development. Risner has star development. Mute has star development. Cushenberry has star development. Glasgow, I think, has star development. No, he doesn't. It's normal, but he's a 77. Miners has star development. So, even moving, like if they moved Glasgow over to right tackle, because I think he's pretty tall, they've got Miners still. I mean, granted, Muti is better than those guys. Let's see if we can get a pick out of him, too. I think the 4th round was where we didn't have a pick. Okay, so that's not going to go through. What if I put on Dalton instead of Foles? Nope, they actually want that one less. Okay, that's fine. Cool. No doubt. Right end, defensive tackle, QB, center, strong safety. I don't really have any of those positions. Not any that you would want anyway. They might want Mario Edwards, I don't know. They don't. Okay, so we'll offer him a future pick. I could do this really easily if I would do it in 2 separate deals, but that's not realistic. And this series is not going to be like hyper realistic. Because we're doing this as like a half rebuild, half retool, I guess. Okay, so Nick Foles and a 3rd round pick in next year's draft, projected at pick 65, to the Broncos for Michael Ojemudia and Netane Muti. Muti will move to our starting left guard. Cody Whitehair will move to center, and Ojemudia will be our other starting outside corner, along with Jalen Johnson, and Jeff Gladney will move to the slot, and that's what we will rock with. Okay. So we'll move you here, and we will move Whitehair to center. See, he's an 80 overall there anyway. Okay. The corner should already be updated. Yeah. And I don't know why Gladney didn't just get put there. So he's not super good in the slot, but we're gonna try and save his career. I don't really know why he got cut by the Vikings, but let's go ahead and make Whitehair a center. Just I don't really know that it matters. And then we'll have to redo our lineup too, because it's going to change it, and it's already changed it because it's got. Okay. So that's what we want. Now the only member of our offensive line who is not star dev is Jason Peters. And once we move Cole Kmet here to our starting tight end, we will have technically only one offensive player who's not star dev. And our defense has only got 2, so that's not bad. And they're normal dev mostly because they're old. So I'm fine with that. Now the game is to trade. I want to get something out of Jimmy Graham. I just don't know if anyone's going to want him. He's also a $10 million cap hit. If no one wants him, we'll make him one of our cuts. I just need to see yellow interest. One of these teams that doesn't have a tight end. Unfortunately, everyone has tight ends. Yep, everyone has tight ends. So I don't think we're going to be able to trade him. That's fine. Yep. All right, well, we'll cut him, and that'll be that. We're not going to cut him yet. We'll wait till the end of the preseason. So we're going to go week by week just to see if any scenarios pop up. You never know. See, like a wide receiver mentorship one. Okay, I will be right back. Sorry, I had to clean up after my dog. I don't know why Marquise Goodwin is the one out here. Is the one out here mentoring people, but that's okay. We'll wait to upgrade our players till the end of the preseason. This is the last game. We have one new injury. Let's see what it is. Our backup guard dislocated his elbow. Not a big deal. Got to cut 9 players.
Easily. Here are some recommendations to get
You
you
will
started.
most certainly be the first to go. We'll move you to the practice squad. You can go to the practice squad. The next tight end we're cutting is Jimmy Graham. We can save $7 million. Oh, so we can't even release him? Oh, that's dumb. All
Do your
right,
team
well,
save snap. Quickly review the league's top performers and the current.
fine. If you're gonna be like that. So, word to the wise. That is not just for simulation purposes. That is also for the purposes of you as a player. I guess it saves you from accidentally cutting people, but yeah, so we want to get rid of Jimmy Graham. We'll keep 3. These guys aren't good enough blockers to turn into a tight end. We'll move him to the practice squad. We've got 8 billion middle linebackers. We don't need all these. We'll cut Christian Jones to save the cap space. Or no, we cut the other one. Ogletree. Okay. Still got quite a few guys there that aren't necessarily worth keeping around, but let's go look at the available free agents. Not really anyone we need. Giovanni Bernard got cut by the Kyle Long, another former Bear. Tyson Williams. He helped me get a win week 1 of fantasy. Oh, to be fair, he could have gotten 0 points and I would have won, but that's not the point. Are there any other fullbacks, or is he the one we're going to get stuck with? Yeah. All right, well, he's going to be our new fullback because we don't have one, and I definitely believe in keeping a fullback on the roster. Call me old-fashioned. How many middle linebackers do we still have? We still have... Okay, we have 4. And then 2 left, 2 right, corners. We have 7. Duke Shelley can go to the practice squad, I guess. Okay. We'll see if anyone gets poached off of our practice squad. I guess it is capturing in-game audio. There's not much to capture. I may mute that for the next one. Okay, we don't have any staff points. We're gonna upgrade our players, and then we will in this episode. So, what and how we're going to upgrade players? We're just going to upgrade guys that we think are going to be a part of the, or, that are going to play a big part. So, Eddie Goldman. We've got Darnell Mooney here. You got a +1 catching, +1 deep route, +2 short route. That's not bad. Oh yeah, we need to upgrade his route running because they're not good. Jalen Johnson is going to be a big part of this team. Need to get him to be a shutdown corner. +2 man. That's what we like to see. Itane Mute. Put some points into agile. We'll do Jelani Tavai too. I don't know what his future is, but we may keep him around next season to be our backup middle linebacker behind Roquan Smith. So that way, maybe that's a position we can ignore. Yeah, I think I'll mute that because that seems like super, super loud. Okay, we'll mute that for the next episode. Okay, we'll go through these scenarios next episode, and we'll play. We're gonna do one game at a time, so episode 2 will be the Rams. Episode 3 will be the Bengals. Episode 4 will be the Browns, and so on and so on. So this will be Sunday's episode. Mondays will be the Rams, and Thursday will be the Bengals, and then we'll go on like that. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are excited for the series. I definitely am. I've been looking forward to recording this for a while, and I'm glad I'm actually getting to do it on Next Gen. It sucks that I'm not doing it with the new scouting, but I can't help what Madden does. It is what it is. So, anyway, we're going to wrap this episode up. The sound quality and everything should be better, too, because you actually can't record, for long periods of time on the Xbox Series S, which I think is whack. But you can, but I've got it hooked up to my Elgato, and I'm going through OBS, so it should be a little bit better. But, I'm now in that rambling stage. So if you guys enjoyed, please remember to leave a like. I'm going to try and keep these coming. I'm going to try and get some more Pokemon stuff out too. So if you are excited for what's to come on the channel, like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But this is Casual Flacker saying bye-bye.